Hi, Miss Sherry. Thank you for joining. Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who is going to join us. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube, and that's where Miss Sherry's hanging out with us. All right, let me go ahead and find our live and share it across our group so everybody knows where to find us. Oh, let's see. Not there. Are we really live? Yes, we are. Okay, there we are. Found it. And groups. And there's our VIP. And there is our team. All right, we are ready to get started. Okay, happy Sunday, everyone. We did have a beautiful day here. Oh, Sherry, you popped over to Facebook now. You're confusing me. Okay, well, I'm glad you're with us. Few housekeeping things. We did have a beautiful Sunday morning here and afternoon. Now it looks like it's going to start clouding up. Hopefully we're not going to get any rain. We've certainly had enough of that this spring, but just glad to see spring is finally here. Oh, hey, Barb. Glad to see you. All right. Product of the month. This month, Stampin' Up! Is offering the Eyelet Blooms die. Mine will be here this week. I believe Wednesday is my expected delivery date. I will say Stampin' Up! Is very behind in their shipping right now. With all they had a free shipping a few weeks ago, and then there was the double rewards for a few normal rewards for your purchases. They doubled them there 2 weeks ago now. So they have gotten way behind in their shipping. So my order just shipped. Placed the order on the 15th. It shipped Friday. No, that's the other order. That order with the double rewards though, that shipped on, I want to say the 22nd. So it'll be here on Wednesday. Well, hey Kay, so glad to see you join. So anyway, I'll be able to show you what this Eyelet Blooms die looks like, but it is a full card front die. And you can get this with a $75 purchase. You can add it on for $5. It looks like it's really cool. You can use partial pieces from it. So you can cut it down as you'd like, but just a really pretty die that you can add onto your order. You got that. Hang on just a moment, people. I've got a little doggy who wants to help in his little bed here. Here, we'll let you say hi to everybody. Say hi, Talkie. Say hi to all of our friends on YouTube and Facebook. All right, you're getting your bed. I guess he's going to join us after all. And then, of course, Paper Pumpkin. We are in, believe it or not, the May subscription period. That is the Sparkle Celebrations. For that one, it's going to make celebratory, yeah, say that word, celebratory cards, perfect for invitations, congratulations, and special occasions. It'll make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. And you'll receive, of course, 9 coordinating envelopes. You'll get pre-cut paper pieces with silver foil, gem embellishments, and the coordinating colors are Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, and Pumpkin Pie. And your ink spot will be the Misty Moonlight. So this sounds like an amazing set. And of course, it will coordinate with the quarters dies, which are the beautiful blooms dies that are an add-on. All right. We also have our online exclusives that drop like every other month. Tonight, we are featuring the Fragrant Layers Bundle, which was part of the January online exclusives. So looking forward to playing with this. This one has been a lot of fun. I think you're going to like tonight's cards, but those are the ones. We do have another online exclusive dropping in May when our catalog goes live. So keep your eye out on that. So when this catalog goes live, many of you should have this now. I did send them out a while back, and I noticed they started coming in about a week or so ago. So hopefully, if you're on my catalog mailing list, you should have received it. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way because we are ready to show the cards we're making tonight. So we have here a really super simple card, no die cutting whatsoever, no coloring. This is all done with the stamps, and it's your day. Then our second card, I wish you could see this one in person. I don't know. Well, maybe you can, This one, we did some watercoloring with our Wink of Stella. Check out all that shimmer. And it has the look of like stained glass, where you have the lead wiring there, or outlining. So really beautiful. And like I said, seeing it on camera is not doing it any justice. And of course, I'm using the new hydrangea hue color here. And then, of course, our third and final card. So happy for you. And just a quick and easy, simple layout. Again, your stamps doing all the work. So, to quickly show you what we're using tonight, it is this bundle here. This is the Fragrant Layers. So you have your stamp set and, of course, your coordinating dies. And there's a lot of extra dies in this. Like you could do a stem for your flower with some leaves. We do have these two dies that coordinate with the stamp set. This also coordinates with the stamps. This bonus die and this floral that coordinates with this stamp. We have this little label. We have this label. So again, a lot of fun little pieces that we get to play with. Let's get this nearby. All right. Let's get everything we need up here. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and start with our first card, which is our It's Your Day. And for that, I have a thick basic white card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to grab our bone folder. And of course, we're going to go ahead and fold our card base in half. It is pretty, Barb. I think you'll like this particular bundle if you don't already have it. It might end up on your wish list after tonight. Because again, lots of extras in here that we don't even have time to get into, but I'm going to show you these really pretty cards. So that's our card base. Then, of course, I have a piece of this hydrangea hue. This measures 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Or actually, it's 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then I have a basic white panel. This is 3 1/4 by 4.5. All right. So for this, I'm actually going to use my new stamp positioner tool. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. Yeah. But I'm going to bring in my paper, my basic white, and I'm going to line that up. I have a little mark here on my graph paper just so that I know to line everything up the same way every time. And I'm just going to bring my magnets in to hold everything in place. Then I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to lay that right where I'm going to want it. Ooh, let's see if I can't get this. All right, looks about right. Okay. And then I'm going to put a positioning tool on those little posts there. And then I'm just going to pick up my stamp. Okay. Make sure everything's lined up. Flip that over. And I don't know if you've heard yet, but Stampin' Up! Is coming out with, in the May catalog, a new ink pad, black. This is basic black. It is a new hybrid ink. So you can watercolor with this. You can also, oh, hey, sis. You can also use your Stampin' blends with this as well. So it does not react with the alcohol. The only thing with this ink is you do want to give it a minute to dry. You don't want to hurry up and jump right in there with your alcohol markers or with watercoloring. Really, even with the Memento ink, you had to give it a second to dry. Otherwise, you would smear your ink. So it really, to me, it's not a big difference. But it is a nice, crisp black ink. So we're just going to go ahead and ink up our stamp really well. And the advantage of using a stamp positioning tool is, if it's not as dark as you want the first time around, nothing moves. So you can stamp it again if you need to. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good rub. And there is our pretty flower. All right, so now I do have my chamois. We're just gonna clean that off. And the next thing I'm gonna do, peel this up. And let's set it there for now. And I have the filler stamp. And so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and set this right on top. That looks pretty good. So now I can bring my back here. There we go. Oop. Back in position. All right, let's try that one more time because I think I may have shifted. All right, let's try that one more time. That looks good. There we go. There we are. Now, I need my hydrangea hue. And this is one of the new ink colors coming out in May. And it's in our new style ink pad. So just ink that up like so. Flip that over. And press down. And that takes care of that. All right. Take our chamois, clean that off. And peel that stamp off there and put it on our Okay, so now that's all set. I'm going to take this, set it aside, and next I'm going to bring in my little cushion here, my little piercing mat, and I also have another graph paper here. This is what goes with the stamp positioning tool. It's perfect size for covering our piercing mat. And for this, I now want my Golden Glow, and I have my little center stamp. And we're going to ink up that little stamp, and we're going to do our center, and center. Okay. Next, I need my leaves. And the 3. Okay, so for the 3, we'll start with that. And I've got my Peaceful Pine, which is another new ink color. So I used a lot of I used new ink colors for all of our cards tonight. All right, so this 3 leaf, we're only going to get a partial of that, but that's going to line up right there like so. Then we need this 2 leaf, and this one lines up there, and then this one lines up with these leaves, just like that. Okay, so now we can close up our Peaceful Pine, and we need to find again our basic black, and we want our sentiment, it's your day. I'm going to ink that up. It's your day. And down in the bottom here, in the right hand corner, we're going to stamp, it's your day. Cover up. This out of the way. And now we're going to bring back that hydrangea hue panel. Grab our adhesive. Layer these. And then we want dimensionals. All 4 corners and in the center, because we do not want saggy centers. Peel these backings off. And this will go right in the center of our card base. Then for the final touch, we have the 2026-2028 in color dots. And we're going to grab hydrangea hue. And that finishes our first card. Well, thanks, sis. I was thinking spring when I did them yesterday. Thinking spring. Deb, me too. It's, I think out of all of the new in colors, and I do love them all, I think that's my ultimate favorite of the colors. The hydrangea hue is absolutely gorgeous. All right. Moving right along. Set those aside. Our next card, which probably is my favorite of all, is our Just a Note. We use some rhinestones to give it a little extra sparkle in addition to our Wink of Stella. And I am telling you, I absolutely am blown away by this particular card. And not because of what I did, but because of the product that I used. All right, so for this one, we have a basic black card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to go ahead, fold on that score line, and use our bone folder to give us a nice crisp edge. Like so. Next, I have another panel of that gorgeous hydrangea hue. This measures 4 by 5 1/4. So it is your basic card layer. And that's going to go right on the front. And look how this color just pops off that basic black. I mean, it literally makes this color jump out at you. Okay. There we are. There's that. Next, I have 2 pieces of cardstock. I have basic white and basic black, both of which are measuring 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So they are both 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. The white one we're going to stamp on. The black one we are going to die cut our frame. But we'll do that after we do all of our coloring. So I'm going to set this aside for a minute. And again, I'm going to bring back our stamp positioning tool. And actually, you know what? No, we're going to cut first because I'm going to show you a trick. This is how I did it to make sure everything works right. Oops. We have our baby boss. And we have our plates. And where's our fragrant layer die? Is it? So we are using this one right here. This one right here. And we need our basic black panel. And we're going to try to get this as centered as possible. That actually looks pretty good right there. And I'm going to grab at least a piece of Post-it tape. Oop. Get that centered again. Okay, that looks pretty good, pretty centered. And run that through. All right. This does create a lot of extra little pieces and whatnots. We have to clean up, but that's okay. It's worth it. Where is I thought I had my pokey tool over here. Thought I did. We do. Okay. We're just going to use our pokey tool here to poke all these little chads out of here. Just like that. Ugh. I took my allergy medicine today, but my nose is still itching terrible. Okay, there we go. And then we just need to get all this collected. And that goes into our little trash can. Okay. Now we can bring back our positioning tool here. We're going to get our basic white in position. Just like, oops. So, and then I'm just going to, because these are the same size, line that up. Put it on there. Like that. Then bring our little stamp back. And then we're just going to set our stamp right on top of that. Pick our stamp up. And then remove our little frame there. All right, now we have our flower in place. We're going to take our black ink pad here, hybrid ink, and ink up again. Place it on the post. And Make sure everything is over. And that actually did a great first impression, so I'm not going to worry about restamping it. Take my chamois. The one thing you will notice with the hybrid ink is it does stain. It does not hurt your stamps at all. They're still going to work just fine. It is clean, just stained. No worries. All right, so I want to set that aside. Ooh, I'm going to keep this right on here while I do my coloring. And let me actually put that on there too. All right, so now I have my block, using a clear block here, and I have my ink refills. I'm using Hydrangea Hue, and I'm using Peaceful Pine. I don't need much of either color, so I'm just going to put barely a drop of each color on my block. There we go. And that's probably still more than I need. I know it's more than I need, but we've got it. All right, so we're going to set those aside. And where? Oh, Wink of Stella, have you gone? There she is. All right, now I have my Wink of Stella marker brush. I want to make sure that I have enough Wink of Stella in there, so I'm going to give it a little squeeze. There we go. And I'm going to start with the Hydrangea Hue, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of that color. And I got the wrong one. Is this the one I was using? Yep, I did. Need to throw that one away. There we go. So now we can just pull that color. And again, just grab a little bit more. And then we're going to pull that color up. It does take a little bit of time, but it really doesn't take too much time. I probably should have done one ahead for you guys so you don't have to watch me do this, but I also wanted you to see it's really not difficult to do. And I always start at the base of the petal because that's where I want the most concentrated color so that the color is kind of fading as they go towards the tip of your petals. So again, just grabbing the color and pulling it up. I love this card. I love the watercolor with the Wink of Stella. And I love that Stampin' Up's, their designers came up with the idea of having that frame that does almost like I said, it reminds me of a stained glass look. And then, of course, you pair it with the Wink of Stella in the watercolor, and you do have a really cool look. We got these little buds here as well that we're filling in with the hydrangea hue. One more flower. Almost done. We'll do our leaves real quick. They don't take long at all. And the next card isn't very long either. It's a very simple card. The hardest part of that one is cutting out 3 squares. All right, and then we just use some cardstock off to the side here to wipe off our hydrangea, and then we are going to grab our pine, peaceful pine, and then again from the bottom, drag that color up so it fades out. Almost done. All right. Let's clean that color off so we're good to go for the next time we want to use Wink of Stella. I'm going to put that one away. And there is our painted posies. All right. Set this block aside so we don't make any messes with that ink. All right. Next, we're going to line our piece up here. And it looks like I did go off just a little bit, but that's okay because I'll show you what we do to fix that. So we're going to go ahead, use a little bit of liquid glue. So that looks good. Next, I am going to this here like so. Oops. We need to get you out of the way. All right. There for now. We have our little paper trimmer here. And we are just going to trim away that little peekaboo. And it still looks pretty centered. So we still look good, even though we had to do that little bit of haircut. All right, so now we bring in our base here. And for this, I'm going to use dimensionals. No saggy centers. No, I used the Wink of Stella to do my watercoloring bar. I used my re-inkers, placed a drop of each color on my block here, and then I used my Wink of Stella to pick up the color and colored with that. So now we have all that beautiful shimmer. Now we're going to center a little panel here into the front of our card. That looks pretty good. Set that down. Then I have a scrap of basic white. And we're going to find just a note. Where did I put that? Oh, I know where it is. Uh-oh, what did I do with that? Oh, goodness. Found it. All right, here's the other piece that comes with your stamp positioning tool. This is a piece. This has the little buttons up here that you can place onto your, let me show you, platform. So you remove the big, and then this hooks onto these little posts here, and you could move your way down through and stamp. However, it also has 4 little feet, so you can use it independent of the actual base. So I'm going to put this back on the base, move that over here, and I am going to use this just like a block, only it smushes down like so. So I'm going to go ahead, ink up my stamp using my new black ink pad here. All right, that looks pretty good. Flip it over. And then set it there. And then just press down. And now I have just a note. Well, thank you, Kay. Next, going back to, this has got to get out of the way. There we go. Put it over there. Back to our dies. We have this little banner piece. We're going to go ahead, line that up nicely. That looks pretty good. Oops. Run that through the baby boss. And that gives us a cute little stitched banner. Bring this back on a couple of dimensionals. Peel those backings off. And that is going to go like so. Next, rhinestones. Put in our little rhinestones here. And that finishes card number 2. Oh, no worries, Kay. That's, of course, what replay is all about, because we all know life happens. Okay, our final card, which is, again, like I said, super simple. This is our So Happy For You card. And for this one, I have another thick basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, folding on the score line, making sure everything lines up nicely. And we're just gonna use our bone folder to give us a nice crisp edge like so. Then I have a panel of crisp cantaloupe. This is 4 1/4 or 4 inches by 5 1/4, excuse me. And that's just gonna layer right on the card front. Like I said, kept these super simple because I know we're all on a time constraint. There's always something going on. Monday, I went to work. I had no issues. Got there, no problem. Husband went and got me gas Sunday night. No problems. I went to work. No problems. I left work. I got in front of the hospital and my Jeep made a funny little, like it jumped a couple times. And check engine light come on. Didn't think too much of it, but thought maybe there's like a plugged up air filter or something. I called husband and told him, and he was like, yeah, drive it home. I called Sis. We were on the phone talking, and I got to the main highway, went to go 55 mile an hour, and then my RPM is like stuck at 5,000. It wouldn't come down. It wouldn't shift. It wouldn't do anything it was supposed to do. And I just realized I didn't finish this card. Forgot to take my blends. I'm using the light golden glow is what it was. And it's probably easier to do when it's not put together, but we can get in there and do that. So anyway, got off with Sis, called the husband. He said, turn around and go back to the dealer. So I limped back to the dealer, and yeah, I blew the transmission. So his car has 179,000 miles on it. Mine has 60. His is still cooking, and mine, yeah. The things that make you go, huh. All right. So for this card, we're bringing in our stylish shape dies. We want our, not the smallest square, but the second to the smallest square. So that's been my week, because now, of course, the dealer is backed up. He has no rentals. And here we are. A one vehicle family. Have I mentioned I do not like cars? I know you gotta have them, but not amused. All right, so we need 3 squares. So I just have some scrap basic white that I made sure was big enough to accommodate 3 squares. So we're going to cut them one at a time, maybe. Oh, yeah, it was interesting because then, of course, you get impatient people who are behind you. And I'm trying to get turned around to go back to the dealer because I had already passed them when I was headed home. And they're trying to pass me on the left-hand side. So I was trying to make a left-handed turn, and they're trying to turn into me or pass me, and luckily I saw them come. Good golly. But on a good note, I know it's going to sound corny, but that's a good note to me. I got into sourdough there during COVID time, and I had made my own starter, and it was a really good hearty starter. But my husband got kind of sick of sourdough bread, so I had to kind of give it up a little bit. So I just stuck my starter in the refrigerator and kind of left it there for a year. It's been over a year. It's been in the refrigerator, untouched. And I decided to pull it out and see if I could revive it. She's came alive. I mean, she's not ready to use yet. She needs to be fed a few times to get her legs back. But it just goes to show if you have a good, strong starter, it will go dormant in your refrigerator for at least a year. I was very excited that it came back to life. Smelled good, looked good, it was all good. All right, bringing my little cushion back here again. And I've got my little squares. So for these, using my little flower. All right, so for this one, we need our black ink pad. So I'm going to set that right there. And I need 2 of them to be more in the corner and then 1 in the center. So I'm going to go ahead. This one's going to be more corner. That looks pretty good. This will be a corner. And then this one's going to be a center. Oop. Like so. All right. Set that aside. Close that up. Yes, it is under warranty. We did get very fortunate there, Deb. Thank you. And it literally is 1 year from the warranty going out on it. So I got it there. What was Monday's? Monday was the 21st. The 20th, something like that. I think it was the 20th. And then my warranty runs out April 23rd, 2027. So I literally had 1 year left on it. I was like, oh my gosh. Talk about getting lucky. And the good Lord looking out. All right. So this, let's see, takes a second. To get this lined up. I think there we go. There's that one. And that one. And one more. There we go. All right. But yeah, I was really excited to get my sourdough starter to come back. I was really worried about it. All right, so now we have our center. And again, we're going to bring back the golden glow. And we're just going to do our centers. So hopefully by next weekend, I'll have sourdough bread baking. It'll be ready to go. All right, so we're going to set our little squares aside now that those are all set. And I'm going to bring in my little scrap of basic white. And I need So Happy For You. And again, we're going to bring back our new black ink pad. With this new black ink pad, Stampin' Up! Is retiring the Memento, and they're retiring the Stays On ink. So those are not Stampin' Up! specific inks, so you will be able to get those from your local craft stores. But I don't think they're that inked. Okay, let's try that one more time. So we always have two sides to our paper. Oh, no worries, sis. All right. That's much better. Okay. Clean that off. And then we're going to go back to our dies here. And we have this label right here. And looks pretty good. Plates. So we want to keep that piece. And we want that piece. Okay, get those out of the way. All right, we'll start with our squares. So square number 1 goes up here in this corner. Square number 2 just goes on that point overlapping like so. Then the one that has the flower centered ish, it's going to overlap on that point, just like that. Then we're going to take our So Happy For You. We're going to flip this over and we're going to grab a couple dimensionals, actually 3 to be exact. Because again, we don't want the sag in the center. And we're going to peel these up. And this is going to go down. Like so. Then taking our liquid glue. Do a little around like so. And then this goes right down. Hold that down for just a minute. Then we bring back those in color dots. And this time we're using the crisp cantaloupe. Where? I'm just using a couple of the small ones right here. Like so. And that completes our third card. All right. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. And we'll do a quick recap of everything we've got going on here. So this was our squares. Here's our watercolored stained glass look with our Wink of Stella. This is my favorite right here. I love all that glimmer and sparkle and shimmer. And then we have It's Your Day was our first card we did. So again, this is the Fragrant Layers Bundle. It is going to continue. It's not on the last chance list at this point. It's still available and going to continue to be available through at least a while. Oh, good, Barb. I'm so glad. Thank you, sis. This one here, Sherry. Yeah, this is my favorite. Just to know, with all that sparkle and shimmer, shine. All right, ladies, that is all I have for this evening. Oh, thanks, Kay. Yeah, 1 and 2 are definitely the best of the 3, with 2 being the ultimate. All right, ladies, again, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for carving out a little of your Sunday for me. I do appreciate you. The new catalog opens, I believe, the 5th of May. The 5th. So mark your calendar. It's coming. All right, ladies. Once again, thanks again for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you, and I wish you all a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And God willing, I will be back next week with something more fun to share with you. I have stuff coming, so we'll see what we got. All right, guys. Bye for now.